the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a bit of a review video on a updated or semi kind of new product from Vango. So with me here today I've got the Vango Galli Pro Air awning range. So the Galli is a name that's been in Vango's collection for the best part of sort of 7-8 years, and we've now sort of, for the new season going forward, we see a big kind of change and almost a bit of a almost like a redevelopment on the part. The Galli had been probably the same for about last 4 years. So for 23 going forward, we have a new kind of updated model, and they've really gone to town kind of on the whole awning itself. Throughout this video, we're going to talk through all the new features, as well as some of the stuff that we kind of known and love about the Galli itself. One of the probably biggest headline news is the fact that they've necessarily tweaked the fabric a little bit. So we've still got that kind of high spec 422 double rootstock material, but now we've got more of an eco story behind. So actually it uses kind of Vango's Sentinel Eco Pro material, hence kind of the Pro name. And then what this does essentially is they've utilised sort of single-use plastics, be it plastic bottles and things like that, and then they made essentially fabric out of it. To do the process, what they necessarily do is take this sort of the single-use plastic, kind of create it into chips, melt it down, extrude it into yarn, and then obviously sew that together to make a nice awning like we have here. It's still got the same kind of waterproof level, so 6,000mm high straight head. Got that double rootstock, so it's got a reinforcement directly into it. But kind of one of the other new things really about the whole awning itself, it's now available in 3 different sizes. So when I say sizes, the main body stays exactly the same. It's just the connection tunnel, which is on the opposite side of the awning I see here, will fit different heights. So we have a low height, which is designed more for like a VW campervan, which basically will fit awning rail heights from 180 to 210. A mid, which again is more like your midline vans or maybe high top models, which is 215 to 255. And then obviously the high or tall is 255 to 295, which could be your tall or motorhomes, for example. So a wide range that will necessarily fit. But one of the joys of kind of the Galli in terms of its concept is the fact that it's sort of side orientated on. So when I say that, it almost faces the same way as the vehicle does. So naturally you tend to be orientated at the view rather onto your neighbour's pitch. So that works really quite nicely as well. It's inflatable, so it's very quick and easy to pitch. You can see from my own Attwoolls pitching and packing videos, it took me the best part of 13 minutes to pitch by one person. So again, it means you can in theory use it for shorter spells as well as those longer ones as well. But some of the other big kind of features and tweaks, certainly one visually you can see off the bat, is the fact that we've now got an enclosed front door to it. So this, what I've got here, is actually it's a pre-production sample, so it's not exactly how it's going to be, but we've got a few tweaks that I will mention throughout the video. So the door itself is really quite nice and versatile. It's actually had to make it a little bit longer in length. So the previous model is about 95 centimeters to 90 centimeters longer, and all that really equates to is just this mount here. So the main part of it is still exactly the same. It's just you've got that little door part that sort of scoops up, and again gives you that flexibility to physically enclose it. Now, what you can actually do is, as you can see here, the door opens from right to left or left to right. So the zip pullers actually can open up from either side to give you a lot of flexibility. Failing that, what you can also do is actually take the zip pullers directly down to the bottom, and then you almost roll the whole front panel to the side. It doesn't actually remove, but it certainly rolls down to the side, so it still creates that same kind of Galli feel with that open front, but now you have the flexibility, of course, that you can close it for when you want to, so you've got the best of both worlds. So that's a really nice big addition for the new Galli Pro. We've still got things like obviously a new colour as well, which does make it feel a little bit different. Inside, I think because actually there's a lot of windows, it doesn't feel maybe as dark as you necessarily think. Certainly in comparison to, you look at the Keeler Pro, I think that feels a bit darker in comparison to its former self. With this, it still feels a bit lighter. And what you've also got is these high visibility guy runs at the front and also the back. So you've got storm straps front and back to again give it extra bracing to get that roof looking really nice and taut. Beams themselves are oversized and each one is done individually. You can basically have, you've got Vango's kind of air speed valve, which is located directly here. A manual pump comes supplied with it as standard as well. And the joys of the Vango's valve is the fact that you have like a bayonet locking. You can actually attach the pump, lock it on. It's not going to come off with pressure, and then you get a live feed on the actual pressure gauge itself. But personally, I would probably start in the middle, do the middle two, then do the back and then the front, either or. But you can see obviously from the pitching view kind of how we've gone about that as well. Because again, they're supersized beams, so they're a bigger beam than your normal, so i.e. 13 centimeters rather than 10. You've got a bit more stability and a bit more structure. So it takes a fraction longer to pump up because obviously there's more volume there, but still it sits really nicely and gets that roof and takes the extra weight of the awning itself. Other things to mention is, again, some little details are the high visibility pegging points to match the actual guide points as well. What it's designed to do is kind of create your main pegging points you would peg out before you pitch the awning and inflate it up. To a certain degree, I don't agree with kind of how they do it. For me, I always find it better when you sort of attach to the rail. You peg the tunnel section first on this particular side on profile, the two on the opposite side where the tunnel would be, i.e. there and there. So you do like two rectangles, that rectangle and then that rectangle. For me, that's how I personally prefer to do it. We've got diamond clear windows located here, so it's their Pro Diamond Clear, so really nice crystal clear windows, but you've also then got privacy curtains in the main body to get privacy as and when you want to. Another nice feature for the Galli Pro is the fact that we've now got the side doors had a slight tweak to it. So we've got a side door or on this side actually, which we didn't have previously. What we've also got is a full mesh part built into it as well, and then you've got a curtain to get to the privacy as and when you want to. Now, the side door here would be your kind of lip-free access in and out of the awning itself. So as I zip it up, what you can see is because it zips vertically, it creates one or two things. Gives you the option of having trip-free access directly in, and there's a zip as well to make sure it's a nice thorough attachment, but also this door then suddenly doubles up as a little sun canopy, so you can buy some additional king poles. There's eyelets located in there, and then you can bring that out, just give yourself a little bit more shelter from kind of the wind or the rain itself. I'll zip it up in a second. What we'll do is kind of actually swing around and look kind of inside the Galli Pro and talk for a load more features that this new model has, and have a few more details that it's got hidden inside as well. So now we'll kind of open the front of the Galli. You can probably appreciate the kind of its true kind of DNA and how it always has been. So having that completely open, suddenly you're bringing the outside directly into the actual awning itself, and just making this kind of more a communal area quite nicely on those days. So generally, like I said, the beam structure, you've got kind of these nice sort of pre-angled beams, so it gives you a good sort of height internally. It's about a 320 width, so it's a decent sort of width. And as I said, its overall length is 5 meters 55. Like I said, but it's not really that much different in comparison to its previous version of it. Really, I suppose orientating is nice to have sort of a table and chairs out here on these nice days, and you've got kind of a designated almost. If you don't have a stove directly in the vehicle, or we want to use it for more camping use, this would be probably more kind of your cooking kind of overall section. As we step into kind of the main body, the first thing we actually see is actually we've got a little lip directly in. So this is really just to give a bit more a seal to the actual main body of the awning. But if you want that trip-free hazard, then you are going to utilise that side door rather than the front door. The front door itself, you've got two main kind of parts to it. So you've got your normal kind of tent-like material, or failing that, you've got a full mesh door to it itself. I should prep this ready to go. And as you can see here, you can leave it toggled up quite nice and neatly. So you've got your full bug-free barrier mesh. And again, because it zips all the way around, you have got that full-on protection against it. Or failing that, you've got your normal door, like so, when you want to get that sort of separate, sort of keep the warmth necessarily in. Now, either side of kind of the door itself, you've got windows on both sides. Now, what they're going to be, I say going to be, is essentially mesh as well. So you'll have a mesh window, and then also like a fabric, same as a door, behind that to obviously get the seal when you want it to. So in a way that's quite nice because it's going to again increase your ventilation. The only sort of slight caveat to that is probably you're going to lose a little bit of vision on the days when it is a bit colder or it is a bit if it's, well, not so much rainy, because you can look out there because this is obviously enclosed, but certainly the size, that does make a little bit of a difference. You've also got a little ventilation point located at the top here as well. So that, I say, leaves airflow even when you are sort of sealed up from that point of view. Generally, the joys of the Galli is it is very spacious. You know, because it's sort of side profile, you're not going any further out from your van. You're just utilising space alongside your van. So again, you're fully utilising the pitch that you pay for anyway. As we've got in situ in here, we've got it located with a table and chairs. Really, you can utilise this as bedroom space, living space, or whatever you want to go through. So again, it's nice and versatile from that point of view. If you buy a 2-berth bedroom, it's going to take up literally probably about a quarter of your overall living space. You can also buy a 4-berth bedroom, which essentially it's got to cut off, we'll say 60%, just probably because it's a little bit smaller in this panel, but it still leaves you a little bit of area here. And obviously when you close the front door, you've still got a bit more space overall itself. Other things to mention are we've got the Sky track system built into the awning itself. And the thing I do quite like about this is it goes all the way around, so not only goes along the top, but also goes down the sides as well. So it means you can almost have hanging organiser pockets from SkyTrack to SkyTrack, but also gives you lots of functionality for just hanging things like lights, or organisers, or even sort of create a bit of cord and try and create a bit of tail rail. Lots of possibilities from that side of things as well. The curtains that we see throughout the awning are zip up, so you have the ability to kind of zip them up fully to get the best amount of ability, or bring it down halfway so you still have some obviously view while retaining privacy, or fully down to the bottom, and often they'll basically roll down directly into a little storage pocket located down like so. So it keeps all quite neatly out the way and out of sight, out of mind. We've got a nice big ventilation point at the back here as well, so it's a really big vent directly at the back to help to increase airflow. And you've got kind of basically Vango's SkyTrack system. So it's their TBS system, so tension band system, ability to create kind of a bit more of a tension point in the middle of here to give internal bracing when you leave the awning for a little period of time. For me, it's a great little concept, but something you'll probably only utilise when you leave the awning there. It's just a bit of added strength, and it creates a triangle point from the roof down to the sides with the guide points to give you more stability. So if you have, say, wind coming in from one side, you've got a bit more bracing in there as well. What I will do actually, let's bring the camera in and we can kind of get a bit more up close and personal with some of these features that I'm talking about. Okay, so first thing, also you look at the canopy depth, really quite nice. You can see a chair there just to give you a bit more of an idea of it. High visibility guidelines which sort of clip on, clip off, but again gives you a bit more tension. And you can probably, not sure you can quite see the detail off the ripstop there, but it is a quite nice little fabric. Slight lip directly in. We've got the windows obviously which are going to be mesh, and then we've got the sky windows throughout as well, which is really quite nice. So even when you are zipped up to make yourself nice and cozy, you can still allow some light to come directly in. And then that's that mesh side door which we're looking at on the outside. So, and then we've also got the normal PVC windows. So you've got PVC windows on both sides. So that also is going to help add light. Really, that's going to be where kind of the van is. So you're probably not going to get much light directly through there. So really your main source light is going to be there, or that window, or the sky windows. TBS, as we talked about, you can see an extra bit of ventilation directly at the top, and that really nice big vent at the back there, and we'll have a look at that in a second on the outside. SkyTrack, you can probably see just along the edge of the little white strip, really quite kind of discreet, but works really quite nicely. And again, we've got your zip curtains, as I previously mentioned. Cable entry point directly into the awning, so you haven't got to leave the door open necessarily all the time, or you could in theory feed it through a door if you wanted to. And even on the tunnel door here, we've got a mesh point. So where I'm now situated, this is pretty much where the van's going to be. So your van is going to be kind of this side, and then the awning is there. Now you've got two tunnel doors, one located at the front of the awning and one located at the back. So this basically means you don't have to go through the awning every single time you want to get into the van itself. I'll see if I can unravel this a little bit. But then you've got the tunnel section here. So when you drive away, you are going to leave kind of this tunnel section rolled up like we have it here. Just then it means it almost is a completely standalone tent. Just be helpful if I had a spare pair of hands, I must say. That's better. So you can see the tunnel door there. Actually, from having a bit more of a grasp of the fabric, it really works quite nicely. You've also got little zip pullers directly into the tunnel, which makes life a little bit easier to kind of operate. And then we've got that, again, that lip. There's no sort of trip hazard directly into the awning as well. So you see there's a zip part that runs nice and neatly on there when you want to, like so. From a connection point of view, we've got different connection methods. So we've either got the caler point, which goes directly, into an awning rail. Personally, I'd recommend a fixing kit. We've got straps that can take it over the top of the vehicle. So these are webbing straps located there as well. There's a sleeve there for a pole and clamp kit. So if you wanted a ream rail or a gutter rail fitted, you can basically put a pole directly into that. And there's also Velcro tabs that basically will then Velcro onto a roof rack of any sort. So again, that works really quite nicely. But then, like I said, the tunnel doors are located there. And there's also an adjustment strap in that tunnel section just to make it look a bit tidier for when you want to go to. At the back of the bit, we've got the ventilation point here as well. So that's a really nice big air vent, again, to increase airflow directly in. We've got the one located behind, underneath there, but you can literally, when the rain is still pouring down, you can still utilise this vent. Of course, you can then zip it open and actually leave it fully open if you really wanted to. Again, just to maximise airflow on those kind of more warmer days. Now, storm straps on the back, as you can see. On the sides, really, you've got your little normal classic kind of guy points. Just again, it's sort of like a two-tone, so you've got what feels like a floating guy line kind of approach, and then also you've got the valves located at every single point there as well. So yeah, lots of talking points. I think for me, it's a very much needed improvement to the Galli. I think if you were looking kind of at its kind of competitors in the marketplace, be it the Outdoor Revolution T4E and things like that, they were potentially kind of a little bit more ahead of the curve and had a bit more features, and this kind of brings this more back in line. You've still got some unique features with this that you don't see anywhere else, be it the the ripstop material, the enclosed porch built onto it rather than say an optional extra, more mesh doors as well, I would say, chunkier beams, sky tracks. There's a few points that do make it stand out in comparison to the Outdoor Rev, but I will say that has got its own benefits as well, which you can check out the video we've done on that. But I think there's a lot of ticking points, a nice adjustment, a nice update with the eco story with the fabric as well. I think is a really nice sort of thing to focus on. But let us know what you think. It's always great to have feedback from yourself, good or bad. But that's our kind of video review on the brand new Vango Galli Pro. Like I said, available in the three sizes, be it the low, the mid, or the tall. For more information, feel free to check the link below this video. Take you straight through to our website. We've got more information on things like pack sizes, floor dimensions, individual features, other videos we've done on connecting, the pitching video. So there's loads of information to check out there as well, which is always a nice little point of call. It's all there with the optional extras you can get, be it a footprint, a carpet, the sky tracks and things like that as well. So by all means, check that out. It's our package deals. But yeah, that's a little video review. Hopefully you found this helpful. We really do appreciate you kind of watching those, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in the next one.